T-Boys TV. We are here for the match reaction. It's finished at Kenilworth Road. Luton Town 1, Doncaster Rovers nil. Another, grinded out win, I guess. But yeah, going into the game itself, we'll talk about the lineup to start off with. So it actually looked like to me a 4-4-2 going into this game. It was either that or 4-3-3, but I do believe it was a 4-4-2 with Keeley in goal, of course. Makoso right back, Anderson and Mengi as your centre backs, Naismith on the left, so left back. Midfield of like a four, so to me it was Morris on the right side, so like a right midfielder. Ali on the left midfield, and then Saville and Lamine as the centre mids as well. And then obviously, sorry, Nelson on the left, and then Ali and Wells up front, sorry. That's how it looked to me going into this game. So a change in formation. Me and my dad did say on the Hat Show yesterday, we felt, this could be the game, especially with all the hints from Bloomfield, Sweet. Obviously, fans have mentioned it, about a change in formation. And it looked like today was definitely that, especially with, that four at the back. But yeah, going into the game itself, it was one of them where, it was a better first half display. I did feel in this game. One of the better halves this season for sure. Obviously Burton being the standout, of course, still. But yeah, this half, I mean, it wasn't too bad. Obviously, you see them had to make a change, which there was obviously a bit of a delay in that. But we did have a few chances. Lamine did get man of the match at the ground today from obviously the votes. And yeah, I thought he was all right. I said he should have come in for the Lincoln game. And I would have started him in this game as well. And obviously he did play in this game. Shout out to him, obviously. Shirt, one there behind me. But yeah, he was good. He was good in the game. And, with him, obviously since he's come in, we've seen him be a bit more attacking, more than his actual, job, which is meant to be a CDM. But Bloomfield said he wants to see him be like a number 8, which is obviously a bit of both. And yeah, I thought he was decent. Unlucky not to score. And I'd say we were knocking on a door, to be quite honest with you. Then obviously we got the free kick. Saville with a good delivery into Naismith. I mean, I'll be totally honest, from a Doncaster perspective, if there's fans watching, you won't be happy with that goal. Conceding that, because it wasn't so great defensively from you guys, to not even, be keeping your eye on Naismith. But Naismith done really well to get into the space. And by the time it's got to the goalkeeper, he's had no chance of saving it. Let's be honest, because it's a great header. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I believe that is his first goal since Bournemouth. All them seasons ago, I remember that absolute madness at the end of the game. And yeah, we go 1-0 up, and then we're just knocking on the door. Continuation of knocking on the door. Obviously, we do get a penalty. Wells was obviously fouled again. If you're a Doncaster fan, you've got to be fuming with that, because it's just blatantly a penalty. It's just silly to do, and, we've been piling the pressure on them as it is. And the penalty itself, when it originally come in, we thought, Lamine was going to take it, because, it sounded like he was going to, but obviously he didn't. And it was out to Wells. And I'll be honest, when Wells got it, I didn't mind it, because obviously he did score a penalty against Plymouth. He is a striker, and also he did earn it. So I was thinking, okay, the penalty itself, it wasn't a bad penalty for me. It was a good save from the goalkeeper. I've seen much worse penalties, where they're like P-rollers or they barely come off the ground. Like, it wasn't a bad penalty, but it was frustrating, because I do feel if we did get that goal, we could have went on to win the game pretty comfortably in the end, I'll be honest, especially with, like I say, how Doncaster were losing their heads, giving away a penalty straight after they've conceded. The defending for the goal was obviously poor. So I felt we could have capitalised on that if we did go 2-0 up, based on all them, stuff I've just said. But yeah, going into the second half, we did obviously make a change in the 55th minute. Obviously, Kadoa come on. I thought he was really, really good today. Again, I've argued for him to start, last couple of games. And yeah, I thought he was really good in this game. A player we do definitely have to talk about, I feel, is Shaden Morris. And, that's his fourth game now for Luton. His first start today. Obviously, the 3 games before that coming on, and he's looked electric. He has looked electric, and he's caused a threat. And I look at the other side with Ali, and we thought going into the season, he'd be a key player for us, and obviously he scored a great goal against Burton and things like that. But what we know he's good at is running at players, driving at them, taking them on. For me, we haven't really seen that from Ali. Whereas since Morris has come in on that other side, we've just seen it continuously, and he's been trying to get crosses into the box, winning corners, things like that. And for me, he deserves to, be starting continuously at this moment in time because, you know, the games that he was coming on, he was making an impact, and his performance today was really, really good. I was a little bit surprised with him coming off at the time he did, but yeah, let me know what you think of Morris since he's come in so far to the football club. But yeah, like I say, I thought he was really good in the game, trying to make things happen, and especially at that spell, he was probably my man of the match. Obviously, it's still early on, but in terms of creating chances and things like that as well. So massive shout out to him. And I do feel with the four at the back, you can't be putting him as that right back. Right now, you have to stick with Makoso. Thought he was really good in this game as well. Slide tackles. A few times, obviously, they had a big chance at the end. Molyneux, obviously, on the side Makoso was meant to be on. But the slide tackles I thought were brilliant. And, me personally, I have doubts about putting centre-backs, especially ones that don't really play, right back, left back, out, there. But today, I thought he was good. And I feel it will work against certain teams. I just feel the higher-end teams, I'm not too sure. As much as Doncaster obviously up there, in terms of the, the Huddersfields, the Stevenage, them teams, I'm not sure if it'll work against them. Bradford. But for now, it can work, I believe. But yeah, I thought he was decent. Then obviously made some more changes. Gabode, Nakamba, it was actually interesting to see him again. And Bramall, again, Bramall's a player for me that, should be starting more. However, Naismith at left back today was really good for me. He is my man of the match. Do let me know if you do agree with that. And the reason I say that is not even just because he scored. I feel defensively he was really, really good in the game. Obviously, did play a full 90 minutes as well. If Morris was on for longer, I would have given it to him. But I just thought Naismith, that was a proper captain's performance from him today. Showing that leadership. And, there's been a few times, especially under Bloomfield, where he's not featured and you're like, well, why? Or he's come on in games. But yeah, this game I thought he was immense, and he is probably a nailed on one at this moment in time. Whether you do start him at left back or you put him to centre back in other games, let me know if you do agree. And then yeah, Richards come on towards the end as well. Kadoa did get a yellow card. I mean, it's a bit of a frustrating one because a lot of us will feel that was a foul. But then he has done that bit after where he's sort of, obstructed the ball, I guess you could say, with his hand. You can't really do that. And he got a yellow card. But the one thing I will say, this referee, right, he's predominantly a Premier League referee. Why the hell was he in our game today? I don't understand that. I really, really don't understand that. It's not even like, I know sometimes they go in the Championship, but we're 2 leagues, lower. So for me, there should be nowhere near, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, let me know. Am I overthinking there? But yeah, I mean, attacking wise today, we could have been better. Let's be honest. Like I say, if we scored that penalty, even though, like I say, I don't think it's the worst penalty, we'd probably go on to win the game emphatically. I do believe that. Like I say, I believe the momentum would have went all our way. Obviously scoring before that, gave away a penalty. Their heads would have been, lost all over the place, to be quite honest with you. So, yeah, there's still improvements. But I would say in terms of the wins in the league, that's second. Obviously, Burton's still the standout, but I'm not going to, act like that was amazing. As much as, we've done the job there, they are rubbish. Let's be honest. They've lost 4-0 today. Massive respect to their fans and, everything, but they look like they're nailed on to go down already, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, I'd say this was the second best performance of the season in the league. there's still improvements, like I say, especially attacking wise, but defensively, I mean, look at the difference with the back four, you know, and you would have had worries going into that game. I mean, I did myself. You know, you got Mengi there who was awful last week. I thought he was really good today. Bar one pass he did in the second half, which weren't great, and the fans were a bit frustrated about that. Other than that, I thought he was really good, especially actually defending compared to last week. But you'd have been worried, like I say, based on his performance last week. Makoso, who's not naturally a right back, you know, who is a centre back, maybe you'd have been a bit iffy about that. I mean, I am personally, especially going forward in certain other games. But today he was good. And then with Naismith, I guess it depends because we know he can obviously play as a left back, but it depends in terms of how Luton want to play. But I think if you play four at the back, you know, and you've got them wide players ahead like Ali, Morris, whoever, Gabode, Kadoa, you know, I reckon we will be all right in a lot of games. Obviously, when we play, you know, the better teams, teams that are right up there, you know, we are going to be at a point where, you know, it might not work. But I feel, you know, it will work in a lot of games. And we've went attack heavy, you know, after that transfer window. So based on that, for me now, I think we should be playing that back four. I think it makes sense. And you see the difference it made today. And players, like I say, that you didn't really expect to perform well there, especially Mengi, based on his game last week. But I thought today, like I say, I thought he was really good. Makoso, not natural there. You know, again, he was good. And the fact is as well, we got so many strikers in games you can't really afford for me to be playing one striker. The amount of strikers we got, I know obviously a few are out injured, Elijah, Brown, El Hamadi, but even then you still got Nordos, who I feel a little bit sorry for, didn't come on today. Obviously you have Wells starting, you have Yates when he's back, you know, so there's strikers there. So there's more than enough options. Can't really be affording to like I say, play one striker up front. And I think 4-4-2 is the way to go. I mean, even Reece Burke said it last season when we lost to Sheffield United away. You know, we have to go back to basics. Basic football formations are 4-4-2 and 4-3-3. And I feel 4-4-2 right now, it worked today. It worked. Do you go with you know, the same lineup? You don't really like to change a winning team. Do you make one or two changes? Do let me know. Going into that Blackpool game, who did lose today, by the way. They are playing Bradford, though, who obviously beat us, and they're, you know, doing absolutely brilliant so far this season. So, yeah, let's see how it is going into that game. It is our game in hand, so ideally you'd like to get a result. But, yeah, let me know. Would you change the lineup going into that game? Let me know your thoughts on this game. Luton fan, Doncaster fan, or neutral fan if you did watch. Also, late last night, basically early hours in the morning, YouTube did tell me that I am recommended to do memberships. So I've started memberships. It will be the first thing you see in the description of this video. So do join it and help the channel out. That would be much appreciated if you can. And yeah, smash a like, subscribe, follow me across all my socials, subscribe to the extra channel. And yeah, until next time, which is tomorrow, by the way, we are doing a live preview at 6:30 PM UK time with a Blackpool fan for the Blackpool game. So yeah, do tune into that. But yeah, big up to everyone. Smash the like, subscribe, follow me across all my socials. Take care. Peace.